Hello guys, I am your host Prateik. So here I am with the next tutorial of our frequently asked question in our Java program. So when we deal with the next question is the name any two library packages. So first of all we should know what library packages are. See, library packages are some predefined packages in our program. See, these particular packages are developed by our developers. They are given by our Java developers. So when we talk about the library packages, some name of the library packages, they are the java.io, that is for input output, java.util, that is for scanner class, and java.lang, which is by default imported. So next question is what is the use of keyword import? When we talk about the keyword import keyword is basically used to load some predefined packages in our program, or we can say class. This is the keyword which is used to import packages. So when we move to the next, give an example of syntax error. When we talk about this syntax error, see, we can imagine a thing that we have to run a loop from 1 to 10. So first of all we need to write for I equal to 1, then semicolon, that is for the initial value, then semicolon, then test condition, then semicolon, and after that our step value. In this, the syntax error can be in between the initial value and the test condition. We don't write we remove the blank, we can say semicolon, then this will appear as the syntax error. When we move to the next question, it is divided into three parts. That is, first one is name the type of error, and the first one is division by a variable that contains a value 0. So first of all we should know how many types of error are. Error are of three types: syntax error, logical error, and runtime error. So when we talk about the division of 0, this is the runtime error. That means our output will be null. That means our output will not come. So this particular thing will create error at the runtime. So this will go into the category runtime error. When we move to the next, this is multiplication operator used when the operation should be division. So here it is saying that the multiplication operator is used in the place of what? Division. So this type of error is logical error. When we talk about the missing semicolon, so as earlier we have stated that when we miss the semicolon, that means it is a type of syntax error. So when we move to the next question, it is how is input output exception helpful in IO exception handling, or we can say IO errors. So when we talk about the exception handling, or we can say what are exceptions? Exceptions are the things that divide our program error part and our normal source code into two parts. So this input output error help us in a way that it separates all the input output error from our programming, that is from the normal programming code. So when we move to the next question, that is state the two kinds of data types. When we talk about the data types are the words which tell the type of data to be stored. That means we store some quantity, some values in our program, and particular quantity has its own type. That means particular data has in its own type. So these particular categories are known as the data types, and data types are of the two types, that is primitive data type and non-primitive data types. That means primitive data types are the predefined data types that are developed by the software developers, and non-primitive are the user defined. That means they are developed by the user for their own use. So when we move to the next question, what is meant by the user defined data type? The next question that is asked, what is meant by the user defined data type? When we talk about the user defined data types, see, the name suggests user defined data types. So that means a data type which is defined by the user is known as user defined data types. That means they are dependent on the primitive data type. With the help of primitive data types, some other data types that are created by the user are known as user defined data types. When we talk about the difference between static and non-static data members, see, the word static stand for the class and non-static stand for the object, that means instance of the class. So when we talk about the static data members, only one copy is created for the static data members, and when we talk about the non-static data members, the number of objects, the number of copies for the non-static data members are made. So these are the basic difference between static and non-static data members. When we move to the next question, it is asking, give one example of each primitive data type and composite data type. When we talk about the primitive data type, they are the predefined. So we can say these are the byte, boolean, float, long, double, etc. And when we talk about the composite data type, see, our class, our objects, our arrays, these all are actually derived from the primitive data type. That means they are dependent on the primitive data type. So these are the examples of composite data type, that means non-primitive data type, or we can say independent data types. When we move to the next question, mention two different styles of expressing a comment in our program. There are basically three different types, that is double slash, slash, asterisk, then all the statements, then asterisk, slash. These are the multi-line comments. First one, double slash, is the single line comment, slash, asterisk, then whole lines, then asterisk, then we can say this particular slash. These are the multi-line comments. And third one is the documentation comment. Comments contains slash, asterisk, asterisk, all the lines, then asterisk, then closing of the slash. When we move to the next question, this is the what does the keyword refers to the in the Java context. Okay, when we talk about the next question, this is what do you mean by the term keyword. Keyword are the words which are the predefined words having a special meaning are known as keywords. These are the words with the special terms. These are the words that contain some special meaning for the compiler. So these are the we can say these are the some predefined instructions for our compiler. So these words are known as keywords. And when we talk about the example, we can say import, new. Import is basically used for loading the predefined packages. New is used for creating memory spaces. When we move to the next question, name any 4 tokens of Java. Tokens are the building blocks of our program. These are the blocks with the help of which we build our program. This is the basic unit. And the types of tokens are, we can say, identifiers, literals, assignment, punctuators, operators, operand, etc., etc. What are the identifiers? When we talk about the identifier, as the name suggests, identifier, that means it helps to identify something. So the identifiers are the names given to different parts of program. We can say variables, functions, and all the different parts, different names given to different parts of program are known as identifiers. So the next question is, state the basic difference between token and identifier. Token is the basic block of our program, that is, these are the building blocks of our program. When we talk about the identifiers, it is a type of token, and every particular memory, every particular part of program is given a particular name, and these names are known as identifiers. So the basic difference is, token are the building blocks and identifiers are the names given to different parts. So when we move to the last question of this session is the what is difference between operator and expression. When we talk about the operators are the signs and symbols used to perform some operations. And when we talk about the operand, that is, operators are the signs and symbols, we can say plus, minus, division, mod. These are the symbols which are used to perform some specific types of operations. When we talk about the expressions are the valid set of operators and operand. Operands are the values on which operators are applied, or we can say on which operations are performed. So the expressions are this valid set of operators and operand. So that's all about this tutorial. Thank you. Thanks a lot.